Hi Corey, hi Bart, hi Sabine. I hope that you're all well. This is Vangelis from Libis, and the purpose of this video is to solve some questions that they were generated during our discussion during the demonstration that we had together with us regarding the SCK Dashboard, and more specifically as regards link resolver. Maybe give some more information about how it works, and also maybe clarify some features of the data analytics, like in specific the source. So what does this source mean in reality that we can see in the visualizations? What does this Elsevier cross mean? What does this ProQuest pub mean? So what is really the source that we see in the visualizations and also in the analysis? So in broad terms, the source is the database or the index from which Primo withdraws and stores some information, and this information is usually metadata. Their use, it's something that I will explain in a little bit. I will showcase it to you. We can see here that there are many sources. Some of them they are singular, let's say they're one standalones like Gale or Osti that you can see here. It could be also just Elsevier, or it could be Britannica and so on. Or it could be a little bit more complicated. Sometimes it's Elsevier underscore cross. So let's say, what does this really mean? This means that there is a collaboration between those two sources. In specific, Elsevier, we know it's a very big publisher, so it has a collaboration with Crossref. This is what Cross stands for, and Crossref is an organization that manages DOIs. So the information, probably in this case, is a DOI, that it's a combination of Elsevier and Crossref, and a combination why? Because Crossref is managing publications with DOIs from Elsevier. But let's just keep it simple here. So it's a collaboration between those two. This is why you have the dual source. And this collaboration is based on the fact that Crossref is a DOI manager, manages publications with DOI number. And another thing that is very important, and this is the source type. So what is the source type? Actually, source type is the landing page. So it's the page that the user of SCK actually utilizes to find to search for their preferred publications. In 90% of the cases, this landing page is Primo Central, so the central discovery index of SCK, and sometimes it's also Alma. But we can get one example where we can showcase it and just keep it simple for now and understandable. This is very important. So if you would click, just to be clear, if you would click in the same report here, you would get all of the results, but I just filtered out all of the requests with services that they don't have as their source Elsevier. So those ones, they are the link resolver requests with services, the successful requests with their source Elsevier. Let's take the first example that we see here. The source is of course Elsevier, the source type, the landing page is the Primo Central of SCK, the Central Discovery Index. The title is Clinical Radiation Oncology. The author is Wong Terence Zay. The publisher is Elsevier. The publication date is 2016. There is no ISSN, but there is a request date. There is one request that was done on the 6th of July in 2021. So how does this really work? Practically, the user of SCK went on this page, the Central Discovery Index of SCK, of the Primo actually of SCK, did a search, Clinical Radiation Oncology of the author Wong Terence Zay. And then this is important. So what happens in the backend is that Primo has already stored some information, and this information is metadata that has withdrawn from Elsevier. So this is why you get as a source, in this specific example, Elsevier. And why is this metadata important? Because based on this metadata, the Primo Central Service generates an open URL. It's called an open URL because it's generated based on the metadata, and sends it to the link resolver. What the link resolver does is that it sends back the view it, so the full text access online, and the get it in the holdings services. So what the user actually sees is this. This is the user interface. This is the result that the user sees. And let's take a closer look to that. So the user would have these results in the Primo CDI. Then they would click in the view its services, so the full online text, and they would be redirected to the Science Direct website, which is actually the database of Elsevier, so we could see it as the same thing. Science Direct and Elsevier is the same thing, just Science Direct is the name of the database. And they will get access to this specific publication of the Clinical Radiation Oncology, the 4th edition 2016. In this specific chapter that is written from this author, Terence J. Wong. And this is the access to the content. Of course, to have access to the content, first you need to sign in from your institution, and this is why you see this logo here from SCK CEN, but this will not be a problem for you at all. But let's say that I am an SCK user. Let's see it from a more practical approach. What I would do as an SCK user, I would go on the Primo of SCK. Here, for the sake of time, it's already filled the title and the author of this specific example. And I would search in not in the library catalog, but in everything because I want to have all the results. Here, because the results, yeah, we're not quite there yet, so I suggest that we refine them by date because we already know the date of publication, and this is 2016. So we refine our results, and here we are. So these are the services that they are actually produced from they are generated from link resolver. So the view it services, access to the full text. I click to the full text and I'm redirected to the Science Direct. You can see here, this is the author, okay, of this specific publication, Clinical Radiation Oncology, the 4th edition, 2016. Of this specific chapter, chapter 11, nuclear medicine. This is the access to the content. We can scroll a little bit down to see what the content looks like. Okay, the only difference that you may notice is that I am logged in from the KU11 libraries, but in your case it would be SCK, the institution that you log in. But other than that, there's not going to be any problem about it. So that was the video. I hope that I helped a little bit in clarifying what the source actually is in analytics, what the source type is, so the landing page where the user searches, and this is usually Primo CDI, and then maybe a little bit how the link resolver works. Until the next time, I hope that you are okay. So if you have any questions, of course, just contact me anytime you want. See you. Bye bye.